Hello, people. My name is Locked in Thought. It's an old name. That's going to be a long story behind that. But this is my first video. I'm a little nervous. But, I got to do what I got to do. And this is kind of the start of something for me. This is like a video journal that I'm starting. Mainly, most of what I'm going to be talking about is based on mental health. All the issues that surround it, at least for me, not for anyone else. So this is not like an instruction manual. I'm not trying to tell anybody, what they got to do. I'm not trying to say people do the same thing that I'm doing. I just know this basically is to help me kind of get over my issues for the most part. All right. So first, I want to say that I'm actually seeing a therapist because of issues that I'm going through. And a couple of the issues that I'm going through that kind of, predates to, when I was a child, is dealing with rejection, is dealing with, abandonment issues, which for the most part, I believe I got from my mother. So a little back history, I was raised by my grandmother from 6 months to 16 years old. My mother basically asked my father's mother to take care of me because she couldn't take care of, my older sister and my brother that she was pregnant with, even though she was staying with her mother. She said she couldn't take care of me, so I get that sometimes. I get that for the most part, especially if you have a problem with certain things going on. Because obviously my father wasn't there with her, to help her in anything. So, he chose his life. And like I said, that's another story also. So basically 3 years and, a couple of months ago, my mother passed away. It was very difficult dealing with. Even though my mother didn't raise me, I still always loved her and always had the most respect for her. But it still was something hard to deal with. Now, a little bit more backstory before she passed. She was getting sick. Basically, she was going through things as well because of diabetes. It started getting worse and worse and worse. So there's that part of it. So it's like, dealing with that, was a little bit of a beast in itself, and basically I dealt with it. I haven't really gotten over her death. I basically just learned how to deal with her being gone. Because like I said, when she started getting sick, it was something to deal with. So, like a couple of months ago was the anniversary of her death. For the most part, I've dealt with the last two anniversaries of her death. It's not something that we celebrate or whatever, but it's just something that's still, that's hard to deal with. It's hard, no matter what, it's hard losing a mother, you feel me? And the fact that I lost my mother still, it's still something to deal with. But, like I was saying, for some reason this year was a little bit different, dealing with her death, because things started coming to me. Things started, bothering me, not necessarily about her death, but, her life, around the time when I was around her. So, I felt regret in a way because, like I said, we didn't have the best relationship. Wasn't getting on a lot. We didn't get along with each other a lot before she got sick and everything else like that. But there are still things surrounding, her and my relationship. She was much closer to my brother and my other sisters. So dealing with these things, with her, like I said, it was a beast in itself. But like I said, when me and her had a conversation, before she had a stroke, we had a conversation before she had a stroke, and it's like I kind of talked to her, let her know, like, look, because there was a different look in her face, what I'm saying, when I, saw her before she had a stroke, before she was sick. For some reason, I kind of saw death in her face. I mean, she looked sick, but she wasn't. She had little touches of not really remembering a lot of things. I can't remember what it's called right now. It's kind of escaping me. Like, she had a slight dementia. So she would forget things quick. She would remember certain things, but she was still, conscious. She still could basically, know who I was and talk to me and everything else. So I was like, look, Mom, let's forgive each other. Let's not go, worry about anything that we went through, anything we, happened between us, whether, you did something bad to me, I did something bad to you, whatever. Let's forget about it. Let's kind of move on and just, be family. So she forgave me. She said she forgave me and I forgave her. But then, like I said, this past year, for, anniversary being gone, I kind of started thinking about that. She had dementia. She was getting sicker. She wasn't looking right. So I'm wondering if she even remembered our conversation. So, and me thinking that she didn't remember our conversation, I started feeling a certain type of way, not really knowing how to kind of take everything that went through us. Because I'm thinking like, dang, if she wasn't conscious enough to forgive me, am I really forgiven by her? Did she understand where I was coming from? So, I started getting more emotional about other things. I started, feeling a certain type of way about other things. And it really was getting to me. It was really bothering me. I mean, I started looking at other things on TV and then started remembering how hard it was to lose my mother. And obviously I started crying and everything like that. I started, tearing up on certain things, even when other people, whether it be on TV or whether it be, friends talking about rejection or abandonment and stuff like that, it really started getting to me. So I where I'm from, I'm from New York, the Bronx, New York. That's where I was raised. We were basically told to, forget about stuff. We did not necessarily forget about stuff, but get over stuff. We were told not to dwell on our problems. We were told, be a man. Work through your issues, work through it, and don't talk about it when no one don't worry. Don't talk about your feelings, because that's one of the things that, being a man was. And who, I didn't know nothing about mental health. I didn't know nothing about, seeing a psychiatrist, growing up when I did. I know nothing about that stuff. So I was being a man, I was keeping stuff to myself. I was worried about only my own, never really sharing my feelings, especially, when it came to, females, dating females and everything like that. I didn't believe in sharing my feelings. I didn't believe anything about getting emotional. That's probably why, most of my relationships really didn't work, because, I'm not no sensitive dude. And, by the time I got older, it still stood with me not being a sensitive dude, not talking to, about my issues and my problems and everything like that. So that basically I was shut out. I was shut down from, going the extra mile with any woman in my life, even my son's mother, no matter what. Now, some people believe there's a such thing as mental issues that causes you to kind of act a certain way, in life. Some people don't. Some people believe you choose, what you want to do, whether you want to be a good person or not. Now, I'm not saying I was a bad person, but I wasn't the best person. I was a good person, but I wasn't, a great person. I always had a code, always had an honor about myself, but, like I said, I never really shared much about myself with most anyone. It got to a point where I called myself the black sheep of my family, because I did everything different. I chose different schools. I chose different, avenues of, careers or life or whatever. I chose different things. I didn't do everything like my family did. Most of my family, went to the Army. I'm the only one in my family that went to the Marines. So it's like there's so many different things, because I didn't care about being, inclusive with anything or with anyone or in any group. So, I believe that, the issues that I had growing up stemmed from that. You know what I'm saying? So for the fact of the matter, it started making me, everything that was going on in my head, after this last, anniversary of my mom's passing, I started feeling a little bit more hurt about the fact that my mom's, let me go at 6 months old and never come back to get me. Now, she said she wanted to, but I never got a real reason as to why she never did. I never got like a real reason as to why she even sent me. Not necessarily say it wasn't a real reason, but you never explained to me in detail why, you never came to get me. Then it's like, with that, I'm not realizing that I'm having rejection issues or abandonment issues because, I never talked to anyone about, when I was going through what I was feeling. Because, like I said, being raised where I was raised, be a man. Your feelings don't mean nothing to anyone, so you might as well keep them to yourself. So that's, for the most part, what I did. So I was feeling bad about, my mother not coming to get me. I was feeling bad because she kept my brother, she kept my sisters, and never came back to get me. So I always felt a certain way about that. But now that I'm seeing a therapist, I feel like, I'm trying to get to the root cause, because I really can't get to the root cause, but I can get to, how I can deal with it better, and how, I can feel about certain things, and how I can get over things. Because, like I said, it's just one of them things that, I never sought out to do. Not saying I never worried about it, but, I didn't think it was much of a problem. Because of, I'm a grown man, I'm supposed to get over it. But like I said, mental health was new to me. It's still kind of new to me. It's still one of the things that I have to, figure out and get over with, because it's just one of them things that, you have to see someone, to talk about what's going on with you. It's like, from the hood where I come from, it's like most black people, most black men, black women, there's always, you have you've seen so much in life, and you have so many issues that you have to try to work through. And the best way to work through them is getting help. And, that's what I'm doing. I'm able to actually talk about what's going on with me to certain people, or to more people, than basically trying to get over it. And that's what this YouTube channel is going to be for. I'm going to basically talk through my issues. I'm going to talk through everything that was going on with me. I'm going to, give more stories, give more content about what I'm going through. And like I said, this doesn't have really anything to do with anyone else. And like I said, this is not meant to be, malicious, or, I'm not going to be talking about religion. I'm going to be talking about racial issues. Maybe eventually that might come, but for now, this is just about me and what I'm going through, and possibly, if what I'm going through, anything I say can help anyone else. Because like I said, I think it's important to, get through your issues. You either get over it, or you become a victim of it. And I'm tired of becoming a victim to my own, issues and everything I'm going through. So it's just important to me to, seek help, talk through, this, and try to, maybe get some advice from other people also. Or even if I'm able to help other people. So this is just me, doing my thing, and, trying to be a better man, be a much better man. So thank you. I'll get back at y'all soon.